Hey folks, my laptop, something happened to it on Saturday. I was going over my stuff, getting ready for a Temple of Elemental Evil session for Friday night or Saturday night, and was going over stuff, updating some materials because I know we're gonna have six characters, running around. So I'm beefing up some of the encounters, that kind of thing, and closed the lid, unplugged it, brought it downstairs to my room, and opened it up, and screen was blank. Wiggled on the touchpad, hit enter a few times, nothing. Power light's on. So I push on the power light, nothing happens. So I hold it down, hard reboot, and it wouldn't start up again. All my prep, all my materials, all my background stuff, no access to it. So I had to play off of what I remembered from the encounters and from what's in the old T1 through 4 module that I've got. All the 4th edition changes, all the 5th edition changes. Oh man, all that stuff I have on spreadsheets so that I could just, go with it. Now I do have some spreadsheets printed out, but it's just for the town, not the counters or for the moat house itself or anything. So I was stressing hard, but everybody started showing up. So I'm going, hey, we got to play anyway. So, like I mentioned, we have a new player. We got 6 now because there's the 4 original, and then the dwarf NPC, Furnick, whatever his name is. And then this new player, Russell, who wanted to play. So he came in. He's got a half-elf sorcerer who plays like a 1980s rock band star. Slight British accent. Long, poofy hair. He plays the lute. He uses thaumaturgy and minor illusions to augment his performance. Oh, fun guy. Okay, so anyway. He's going to be at the end. There's no issue there because, crossroads, lots of traffic, excuse me. But then the party comes back from Emery Meadows where they were, and comes back into the inn. I sit down, start drinking, try to figure out what they're going to do next. I have them make some perception rolls because I always throw hooks in at the end. And this particular one is a farmer who's got stuff missing. His grain supplies or something. Somebody's been going in and snagging stuff out. So he's in the corner, really depressed, drinking his, sorrow's way kind of deal. And the dwarf and somebody else noticed him, but the dwarf kind of looks over at him because I figured they'd go over and talk to him, right? No, the dwarf just across the room yells out, "Hey, you, drown your sorrows. What's your problem?" Farmer, I make a reaction roll. The farmer looks at him and goes, "None of your business." Turns around, keeps drinking. Eventually, the high elf goes over there and starts talking to him and finds out that somebody's been stealing stuff. And he just can't figure out who it is. Well, meanwhile, the 1980s rock star is playing by the fireplace, and he had talked to Gundagood. Hey, if I do a little performance here for your folks, your tavern, your patrons here, can I stay for the night for free? I mean, anybody's off on that, no problems. So they do that, and while this guy's playing, everybody knows this because how many magic users are there in the world, right? So a obvious display of magic is not very common, pretty unusual, and so the warlock goes up there and is kind of watching things, trying to figure stuff out, and somehow he makes it. I don't know if he's talking with him. I don't remember now if he's talking with him or what, but he makes a comment about that he, the warlock, is the greatest magic user in town. And I snore. That was just me personally, because, I know the level of magic users in town. and the player goes, "What? Who did that?" So I start rolling. Okay, who is this guy? Is it just a farmer who knows, somebody in town or what? And I make a couple rolls, and I decide, this is Rufus. He's getting a couple of drinks. He and Burns and the town elder and, a couple of the council members are in the back room. They had dinner and they're having a meeting. And so I looked at him and he goes, everybody knows that Burns is the greatest wizard in town. In fact, he's in the back room. I'll introduce you. Come on. He grabs him, brings him to the back room. He goes and he sits down, looks over at Burns and says, this fellow says he's the greatest wizard in town. And he turns and looks at him. Burns looks at him, and the warlock runs, jumps on the table, and does Fey Presence Fear. Well, Rufus missed his saving throw. The town elder missed her saving throw, but Burns and the other two made theirs. In fact, the two were critical, so I was kind of surprised about that. Anyway, so Rufus and the town kind of jump back, and Burns looks up at him. I'm going through his spell list, and the thing I come up with to do non-lethal control on him was levitation. So he does cast levitation and puts him up on the ceiling out of the way we're getting it. That's enough of that. Well, the Dragonborn's coming in behind him and kind of reaches up, grabs his ankle, and says, I'll just take him out of here. And Rufus gets up, goes, no, pats him on the shoulder. That's all right. We just want to talk with him. Come on in. And the dwarves obviously heard all the ruckus, so they come up and see what's going on. And the whole party comes in, they're talking to him. There's some role-playing going on. And Burns says, hey, we'll forget all this if you do something for us. There's some folks out. Something's going on with the construction of the castle. Supplies are missing. Delays are constant. There's something going on. If you check it out and find what's going on, there's some gold in it for you. And they let him go. So they figure all this out, and they're sitting around discussing what they're going to do the next day. And Dorf goes over to the half-elf sorcerer and says, hey, you looking for something to do? Sure, yeah. Well, tomorrow we've got some stuff going on and I can use you if you can come along. Okay, so the next day, they go over to the construction area, and they talk with the foreman. And the dwarf, he's a charlatan, and he goes over and pretend to be some kind of a site inspector. Goes over and says, hey, I'm here to inspect the site. I'd like to see your books. And the foreman looks at him and goes, we don't have any books. What? No books? Should always put dwarves in charge of construction. You know, that kind of thing. And so they talk a bit, and I make some rolls, and the foreman lets slip about the two traders. Something about the two traders, and so that gives them a new lead. So they go off to do that. Well, while the dwarf and the dragonborn, who's acting as muscle, is doing the stuff at the construction site, the sorcerer goes over to the tent city and is putting on a little mini concert for all the children and the wives and stuff that are over there. I forgot to have him make a perception roll because they're being an agent, but the agent could actually be on the construction site, so I'll have them both making some rolls and we'll see what comes up with that. But after they do the thing there, they head over to the trader's establishment, and they go in and start looking around. And one of the traders comes out and says, can I help you? We're looking for special goods. He goes, well, I've got leather goods here, I've got this, I got that, I've got some weapons, I got some armor, dungeoning equipment. And I kind of go, no, we're looking for like stolen goods. Bluntness. At that, the other guy comes and goes, we don't deal in stolen goods. Maybe you should go. So they back out. And he was trying to make a distraction, thinking if he gets somebody run back to look around and see if they can't find something, that kind of deal. Anyway, that kind of faltered. They head back to the inn and get everybody together, because the ranger who's got the criminal background had spent most of the night with his ear to the ground trying to find out anything about bad stuff going on. But Hama's not water deep. There is no thieves guild. There's no underground. So he can't find out anything, right? So anyway, they get all together, figure out what we're going to do next. And they decide to go on what Jarud the druid had sent them on about bandits on the roads, and apparently had let the word moat house slip out about that whole discussion, because there's actually a side quest where you can stumble upon the moat house. The idea is to do all these side quests, get up get up to second level before they hit the moat house, because I've run this omelet thing, 2 other times, and both times the party got wiped, either with the giant frogs or with the bandits, or brought down to the point where they just knew they could not survive doing anything else. So I figure if I give them to second level, they'll be able to get into the moat house and do that kind of stuff. So anyway, they head off on the road, and they run into a bandit ambush. I got 4 bandits with crossbows and 2 thugs to set up an ambush. The 2 thugs make their stealth rolls. The 4 bandits don't. So as the party's moving along, they hear something up in the bushes ahead of them, alongside the road. So the 2 dwarven thieves run out to investigate what's going on, and they get up close to get close to the bandits. So the bandits pop the ambush, and fire their crossbows. They get engaged. More people move up, and then after all that happens, the 2 thugs, because both the bandits and the thugs rolled really low initiatives, like 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, or something like that. So the thugs, ambush from the rear, so they pop up and engage the backside of the Dragonborn, while everybody else is focused on the 4 bandits. Well, the bandits, only one of them survives more than 1 hit. That's how much damage these guys are inflicting, and so they go through them pretty quick. The 2 thugs take out the Dragonborn, but in the process, the warlock's doing a Fey version of Arms of Adar. I think we're calling it. I wanted to call it like Thorn Branch kind of thing or something. But he called it like Thorn Whip of the Fey or something. But it still does some pretty decent damage. And so he starts moving around, raising himself so that the 2 thugs are within the area of effect. First time, the Dragonborn's actually in the way as well. Dragonborn makes his saving throw though, and one of the thugs make their saving throw. He ends up casting that arms thing a couple times. And which, now that I think about it, I need to double check his spell slots. Could he really do that? That kind of thing. So anyway, they end up, the Dragonborn goes down, one of the thugs goes down, and all of the bandits are gone at this point. The other thug on his turn was going to, disengage and run, or just double dash or something, right? But the sorcerer's throwing fire bolts, and the warlock's doing that Arms of Adar thing, and nobody physically engages him. Must be a missile weapon or something, but they end up taking him out before he can go. That's another thing I don't like about a D20 initiative. That's such a huge span. I don't know, but if you got 20 guys, think of obviously sequential or something. Anyway, so it was just after 10 at that point, and one of the players had to go do something in the morning, so we kind of stopped there. They seemed to have a good time. Some decent role playing. I'm having some, I don't know, issues, difficulties, bringing in a 1980s, rock star, but hey, that's how he's having his fun, so I just let him, roll with it. And able to do some more, getting on some more side quests kind of things, so get some more hooks. So things are progressing. They're not quite second level still, though. They're getting close, but they're not there yet. They're like at about around 250 experience points. They need 300. I've been trying to work in different ways to get experience points for just, I do give them experience points just for role playing, but for making rolls and that kind of thing. So there's other ways other than just, killing monsters to get experience points. And even with all that stuff, they're still not there. It's because there's so many of them. There's 6 of them. There's 6 of them last time. There's 6 of them this time. So even if you got, a few hundred experience points worth of creatures, you get 6 of them, they only get 50 each. That's how things turn out. But I gotta go to Best Buy and see if they can't figure out what's happened to my laptop. We were going to do a pull the battery kind of thing, but the battery is not disengageable on the back. They're going to have to open it up and take the battery out or something. I don't know. New computers these days, everything's self-contained. You can't take care of anything anymore. But that's it for now. We had a good session playing Temple of Elemental Evil. You guys have a good game.